hi to the person who just joined in. Even if there's only like five people or less, I am going to do this live today. I know, Miss Dollhouse, it's been a very long time um, for a lot of reasons, and we're going to get into it. Uh, you know what? Thank you for the like. I'm not going to wait for everybody to come in or for anyone to come in. I want to talk to the people who want to talk. So, from the topic today, we're going to talk about hot topics. Namely, we are going to talk about this Kanye West craze and how everybody feels some sort of way. And I'm going to talk about how I feel about this, and hopefully I get some dialogue in the comments and we can go back and forth. We can agree to disagree or we can just go forward. But I do want to say that I don't like where this is headed with Kanye. Hi, Miss Catrice. I'm going to call you soon. I'm going to call you after this is done. So know that. But I want everyone to know with this whole Kanye thing that I don't like where it's going for the simple fact that everyone is making this political. Everyone is talking about Democrat versus Republican versus independent. That's not what it's about. It is about the mindset of an individual with influence. When you have a broadcast of millions, hundreds, thousands, anything like that, it's important that you understand what you're saying. And I'm going to be honest, after listening to the track that is in question, and I did listen to it intently, as well as listening to all of the verbiage that's being said on his interviews and his Twitter feeds, I am of the absolute belief that Kanye is not of his right self. And I think it's sad that he is being manipulated, and I think it's sad he's being taken advantage of. This is the time where you have someone who loves you, and I'm going to say love. I'm not going to talk about your handlers or your personal assistants or your managers, your wife or anybody else, because sometimes your wife don't love you. Let's just be 100. But I am going to say this is the time that when somebody loves you, they step in and say, yo, this isn't for you. I'm going to go ahead and push back just for a minute. That is what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm looking for. Everybody is so wrapped up in what he's saying and the intrigue behind it, the fascination behind it, that they're not looking at the core of it. The core of it, this is a man who's reaching out for help. And although I am of the belief that this is largely to do with his mother, I don't think that it has something to do with his mental state of mind. People could say that he's bipolar. Let me tell you, I know that God, please prepare me for when this day comes. Put my mind on the shelf. That is an open prayer. But in the event that I was to lose my mother, I might act the same way. I might be beside myself. I might not act accordingly. And it could be for a day, a week, a month, or a year. It all depends on who you are tied to this earth. I know that I'm tied to my mother. Some people are tied to an aunt, uncle, whoever it is in life. That death will cause you to act beside yourself or act unaccordingly. And that's what I see with Kanye. If anybody has any opposing opinions or if anybody just think he's quote unquote cooning, please let me know. Please put it in the comments or I'm just going to move on. Another hot topic is Blac Chyna supposedly, even though it has now been renounced, but she was supposedly being impregnated by her 18-year-old lover. Here's the thing. A lot of men, and y'all know I am speaking the truth on this, a lot of men have or are dabbling in someone who is underage. That being said, and thank you, Miss Angela, I hope I wasn't the only person thinking that. It's so deeper than what people are trying to scratch at. It's not even funny on the whole Kanye situation. Yes, I did see the interview with him with Charlemagne the God, and he looked so uneasy and so unnerved that it wasn't even funny. Um, it made me uncomfortable to watch. Just to let you know, like I did watch all of the interviews and things of such. But to get back to the Black China and YBF, whatever his name is, because there's like 20 of them in that crew, to be honest, what Black China does with her vagina and her ovaries and her uterus is her business. If she wants to get impregnated by the 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 35-year-old, 50-year-old, 70-year-old, who are we to judge? At the end of the day, that is between her, the father, and the child. Although we as taxpayers would likely not want to deal with that circumstance due to her numerous videos, vlogs, eyelash line, baby daddies, I feel like we're not going to have to take care of that child. As such, it's none of our business. I mean, you tell me. That's just how I feel. It's none of our business. People can have an opinion, but I also feel like that opinion is one sided. As a person who was 18, well, okay, let me be honest. I was 19. I was 19 years old and I was dating someone who was 32 because he was 13 years older than me. Nobody said much about it. So why are people saying stuff about a woman who is in her late 20s? I don't think she's 30 yet. If she is, please forgive me. But vice versa. We need to get rid of these double standards. And I'm going to try to read these comments. Let's see. Black China new dude is ugly. Look, I'm not here to judge on who's ugly or who's cute because what you like to lay down with, what you like to cuddle with, what you can foresee your child looking like is not for me. And that's just honest opinion. Honest opinion, that's not for me. I'm not going to sit up here and judge because I have always been told the most beautiful people can make the ugliest children, and it's all because of how they act. Like when I tell you my mama is so down south backwoods, it's not even funny. It's not even funny, and a lot of that holds true. Okay, Miss Brooks, I will take your word for it. I saw him in a faraway picture with her cradling him, and I was over it. I was just like, "Hey, you do you, boo boo, to the fullest." Um, let's see. So we've gone through the hot topic of Kanye, and I wish more people spoke out about how they really feel, whether they feel it's because of his mother passing suddenly, whether they feel is because he's quote unquote in a sunken place with Kim Kardashian, whether they feel it is because he is cooning trying to get a new record deal. Like, whatever it is, speak your opinion on what you think it is. And I'm happy to talk to you about it because I really want to know. Um, I want to talk on some hot topics that a lot of people aren't talking about. So, if you are a subscriber, or even not a subscriber, but a frequent person who likes to dislike my videos no matter what on my page, then you know that I have been alluding to making a video about when his mother, he doesn't know who to trust. That I can understand. Thank you, Miss Dollhouse, for saying that. That is all about being. Everybody talks about how hard it is to be African American, but nobody talks about how conservative our values are. We are a very conservative sect in the American society. That being said, we all know that there are certain things that our mama or our grandmama, grandpa, whoever in our family instilled in us. And those things are values that we held true. And there's a difference between understanding and holding true. Holding true means we not only understood that dialogue, but we tested it and it held true. Your mama is the one person that you can trust in this world, because that woman not only took the chance to bring you into this world, but she decided to love you. She decided to never let you go. She decided to raise you, and she decided if she couldn't raise you herself, she put you in the arms of somebody that she knew could, whether it was an adoptive parent, whether it was a aunt, uncle, brother, sister, whatever the case may be. Your mother loved you enough to put you there. So I completely understand where Kanye is coming from and saying that he does not know who to trust. Because no matter how you felt, your mom always told you, hey, and I can speak from existence, hey, your mom, or at least from my mama always said, yo, that person is not your friend. That person is this, that person is that. Like, she always did that. So I completely understand that. I don't want to say sentence, but that explanation of his actions. Your mother always said that if you, I mean, biblically, it's there. If you choose a wife, you choose a good thing as a man. He chose Kim. He chooses Kim. So while everybody else in society is always talking about, hey, I don't choose Kim, Kim is a whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've met Kim in person, so my opinion on Kim is, I'll keep it to myself. I've met her in person. I've seen her in person. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Chris Kardashian or Chris Jenner, whatever she wants to be called, that's a bad chick. That is a bad chick. Kim, not so much. But Chris is a bad chick. She is a bad chick in person. Um, that being said, if your mother has always instilled in you to trust your wife, and when you trust in your wife, you trust in a good thing, then I absolutely understand what Kanye is doing. Is it for us to decide whether that's a good thing or not? No. At the end of the day, we don't live Kanye's life. We are not North Saint or Chicago, his three children. We can't decipher what he does. We can decipher whether we support him or not. Let's see. Yes, Miss Cross, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. They have him on psych meds. I think he's having a public breakdown. Hi, Enrique, and hi, Miss Revealer. Okay, the public breakdown. If you noticed, there is an article out on TMZ right now that states that Kanye has said that he has stopped taking his meds as prescribed. And doctors have said that they don't know if the prescription is working because he refuses to check it. That may allude to his whole I don't trust people. That's called paranoia, and that's called hallucination. That's a very real thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I have a paternal, so on my father's side, I have a paternal uncle who suffered from mental illness, and as a result, he tried, and I'm going to say tried because it's a very real thing. He tried suicide 3 times before he succeeded. He tried. So I'm going to say we all, because it's not just a black epidemic. It's not just an African American epidemic or whatever race you associate yourself with. It's an epidemic in society that there are mental issues, whether it's caused by toxins in the air or horrific issues that happen in your younger years, your formative years, as it's called. No matter what it's called, people, let's be honest, let's be legit with ourselves. Like, what's going on? It's an issue. We need to raise awareness to it. We need to talk about it. He needs a drop squad. He needs more than a drop squad, Miss Wanda. He needs help. He needs, and here's where your belief and your faith and your values come in. My mama has always said that God will never put too much on you that you cannot bear. That's for Kanye to understand that he can withstand this trial. Him losing his mother because his mother raised him, his mother was largely a single parent. His mother instilled education and values and the meaning of life, and not so much the drama and aesthetics and things like that. Um, Kanye is very eclectic. If you listen to the sampling in his music, you'll understand that. He's a very eclectic person. And as such, he has that wave of thinking, that wavelength of thinking that most people, I'm not going to say most, some people don't understand because they didn't live his way of life. You have to understand a person's way of life in order to understand where they're coming from. That's the best way I can put it to you. That being said, he needs someone, whether it's an aunt, uncle, sister, whoever knew his mother best and who embodied her spirit, if that makes sense. He needs them in his life. He does not need to push them away. And chances are he's probably has pushed them away because they remind him so much of his mother and it's hurtful. But he needs that person in his life. Then and only then can he come to terms and move forward. Enrique says he should have got on a treadmill instead of liposuction considering the demise of his mother. I'm being honest, and sometimes you need a liposuction because their genetics, honey, you can't outrun genetics. I'm just going to put it out there. I think we can all say that. Look at Star Jones. What was that one? Wilson Phillips singer, the one who posed for Playboy after she lost all that weight and then she got big again after she had a kid. Like, no. Sometimes you do need to visit the surgeon. Miss Wanda, even if you were being sarcastic, I'm going to be honest with you. A drop squad could be anything. A drop squad could be the person who drops the truth on you, drops that drop of knowledge on you. So you may have been sarcastic, but honey, you were speaking nothing but truth and facts. That's the way I see it. I think people he trusted hurt him deeply. J and B let him down. Okay, here's the thing with Jay and Beyonce. They have their own drama. We all know their drama, Miss Cross. That being said, how can I put on a cape for you when I can't even cape for myself? Was it really Jay and Beyonce's job to call him and say, yo, your wife got robbed, but I really don't think she got robbed. I think this is a setup or a ploy because common sense tells us as such. Like, and I'm being honest, I'm being actual factual with this. We don't know Jay and Beyonce's mindset. Beyonce may have been too involved with he putting his dingling and everybody else but me, or in addition to me, and I really don't care about Kim and her diamond right now. Or Jay could have been like, yo, I'm about to get 75% or 50%, depending on the prenup that I signed, taken from me because I done got caught with my ding-a-ling and somebody else. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we can't fault Jay-Z and Beyonce for living their lives. And this is my honest opinion. I don't know those people. I do have ties to one of the two individuals on a closer level, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't know the situation of that. I'm going to tell you like this. Jay-Z and Beyonce, like, how do we know that they didn't contact Kanye and was like, look, we know that you have always been infatuated with Kim because of whatever she looks like and whatever, because it was a physical attraction. Even Kanye said that. But how do we know that they didn't reach out to him and say, yo, we know that you liking what you. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Hope it didn't like buffer too much. It just clicked off and I clicked back in. But as I was saying, how do we know that Beyonce and Jay Z didn't call him ahead of time and say, yo, we don't think Kim is good for you? I mean, how do we know? Let's see. His mom was a safe balance. She was able to reach him. I think so. Your mama always knows you. Let's be honest. His mama, your mama or your mother figure, even if that's not your biological mother, the person who raised you and loved you as her own or his own, that parental figure knows you the best. He You're right, Enrique. He does sound well spoken, but you can see the lostness in his eyes if you know how to read people. I don't even think that Kanye suffers from a personality disorder. And when we say mental illness by definition can be temporary or long term. That being said, you can be temporarily insane, whether it's for an hour, a week, a day, whatever it is, or you can be long term. I think that Kanye is going through something right now. And do I do I feel like medication helps him? No. Because here's the thing, and we all know this. If medication truly helps you, if medication is something that works for your body, you tend to deal with it, keep with it, and continue to take it, whether it's antacid, Tylenol, ibuprofen, whatever it is. We continue to do it. When we don't do it, that's because it's had an adverse reaction, that's something in us, not chemically, but something speaks to us and says we don't want to do it anymore. And if he's doing that with the medication that's prescribed to him, then I feel that it's too strong or it's not something that he needs. So I think that this is a temporary thing, but because he doesn't have that sound soul in his life, that's the best way I can put it, he doesn't know. Um, I think he knows who he is. I think he's just confused on how he wants to portray who he is. And I think we can all agree to that. Would I be wrong? We've all been faced with that fact in life where we don't understand, not understand, but we go through life where we're trying to figure out how to convey who we are so we don't come off as aggressive or ignorant or mean or condescending or uprightness or sedity or whatever you want to call it. Like we all go through that. Do you know? Yes, I do know what personality disorder is, Angela Brooks. It has multifacets of, how do I say this? Of determination as well as let me put it to you like this. If you go to the wrong doctor, I'm not going to say the right doctor. If you as an individual go to the wrong doctor and speak on something that is troubling you at the time, you yourself will be associated with personality disorder. It is I'm going to call a designer disorder. Just like sometimes I feel like, I don't want to say autism, but ADHD, when you have a hyperactive child, sometimes they designer associate that to a child, whereas sometimes that child just needs a little bit more focus. They don't need pills to help them focus. DSM-5. Can you explain that, Wanda? DSM-5, what is that? There's a difference between sociopathics and psychopathics. Sociopathic and psychopathics are somebody who has a dissociative nature from birth. Typically, you can see the traits when they do things to inanimate objects, and they associate inanimate objects to living objects as they progress in life. So sociopathic and psychopathic people are very different than people who have personality disorders, and that is very true. Even though people like to loop those terms in, I'm not saying you, Miss Angela, but I'm saying people in general, some doctors and some experts like to loop in large groups, just like African Americans are sometimes associated with theft and depravity and other things when we're all not like that. It's the same thing. So sociopaths and psychopaths are vastly different than people with personality disorder. Although they may portray the same traits, it is vastly different. Let's see. I think Kanye is a genius, and all the geniuses seem crazy to the rest of the world. He said himself that he can't convey his message inside of what he says in his head. That makes sense. Let's see. Narcissistic. He could be narcissistic. Where's in? Let's see. Here we go. What? I am so confused because oh, okay. Personality disorder, I think, again, like I said, I think everyone has come to the point where sometimes in life that they have had a conflict, where they've had a disassociative nature. Maybe they disassociate with their family because of certain traits. I don't even say traits, certain actions that have been taken. Maybe they disassociate with society on certain things. Kanye is disassociating with, I don't even say the black people at mass, because there is a lot of black people who agree with Donald Trump. Like, let's be 100. We all know at least 3 to 5 people who are a little on how you feel about Donald Trump. That being said, like, he's not the minority. There's an even, let's be 100%, y'all. We are an even 50-50, or maybe 49-51% on Donald Trump in the black community. Half of the black people will not say it because they're scared. But what are you scared of? Are you scared that you're wrong? Here's the difference. If Trump was a true nationalist and he was truly about small government and he was truly about one man building himself, which is the platform of the Republican Party, which is the true platform of the Republican Party. If Trump was about that, then maybe I would support him. I'm gonna be honest. When I may lose all supporters I have, and that's okay, because this is the honest truth. When former President Obama ran in 2008, wait, what was it? 2004. No, 2008. Because he served 8 years. 2016 is 2008. Do you know I voted for Ralph Nader? Most people don't even know who Ralph Nader is. Ralph Nader ran as an independent, and I voted for Ralph Nader because he had the best economic plan of the 2 candidates. And as a young African American woman who was coming out of high school, going into the workforce, going to school, he had the economic plan that would help me be successful. His economic plan largely mirrored the former Clinton, not Bush, but Clinton administration, and that is why I voted for him. I did my research, and I'm losing people who are viewing already, and I don't care. Look up Ralph Nader, people. Look up his economic plan. And if you like making money, if you like having money in your pocket, you would have voted the same way. That being said, it's the honest truth. Like, here's the thing. Trump has lied about all of his stances. He had no plan to secure the borders. He had no plan to lower taxes. Let me be honest. The taxes that were lowered, I got taxed 29.65% from the organization that I work for on the return tax money. 29.65%. Even if you claim zero, the max you're supposed to be taxed is 19.4%. They taxed it as a gift. Those are the things that I am talking about, people. So it's not just because Trump doesn't like minorities, because let's be honest, he doesn't. Anybody who says, look at my black people over there, we're not going to talk about that. I don't care what Diamond and Dust, and I'm not saying that to be funny, but Diamond and Dust, or Diamond and Star, or Diamond and Layla, whatever, Silk, I'm so sorry, Diamond and Silk have to say, unless they can show me a true economic structure that Trump has implemented, and don't you say it's because of the Democrats, because come on now, everybody like money. It don't matter what your political alliances. Everybody like a paycheck, and everybody like a little more zeros after those dollar signs. I'm just putting it out there, guys. Let's see. Hey, to run, guys, got to go to Verizon. Good luck, Miss Dollhouse. I don't know about Verizon. Let's see. See, okay, so Miss Angela, yes, there's all different credences, but a lot of people put it, when you say the word psychopath, a sociopath, it takes it to a whole nother level. Think Jeffrey Dahmer and Charles Manson. I'm sorry. Prince refused to do interviews because he would do weird things when he was uncomfortable, so he controlled them. Exactly. I live in AZ. Most of the blacks voted for Trump. Oh